Okay, Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera. So now let's proceed to the next tissue. Okay, so last day we already discussed about types of animal tissue. So now we proceed to the types of plant tissue. Okay, so first of all, let's look at the overview of the plant tissue. Okay, so actually plant tissue can be divided into two types. The first one we call as meristem tissue. The other one are permanent tissue. Okay, so for meristem tissue, okay, there are two types of meristem tissue. The first one we call as apical meristem. The other one we call as lateral meristem. Okay, so after this, in the next video, I will explain to you, okay, the detail about the meristem tissue. Okay, so now we look at the permanent tissue first. Okay, so actually for permanent tissue, okay, it will be divided into two. Okay, so the first one we call as the ground tissue. The other one vascular tissue. And then for ground tissue, it has parenchyma, collenchyma, and also sclerenchyma. But for sclerenchyma, it has two forms. The first one we call as a fiber. Second, sclerate. Okay, and then for vascular tissue, okay, it has xylem and also phloem. Okay, so this is the overview of the plant tissue. Okay, so now we proceed to the meristem tissue. Okay, so first of all, what is meristem tissue? Okay, so meristem tissue actually refers to the undifferentiated tissue. Undifferentiated means this tissue does not specialize yet. Okay, so for meristem tissue, it is the cell that can divide, elongate and become different shape. Maksudnya adalah kalau kita katakan meristem tissue ni dia sebenarnya adalah cell which is actively divide. So how it is divide? By mitotic division. Okay, and then what happen? It is elongate and become different shape. So bila dah terbentuknya that tissue, okay, that cell, barulah dia akan undergo differentiation. Okay, and then meristem generates cell for new organs throughout the lifetime of plant. So why meristem generates cell? Because of what? Meristem actually it is an actively divide cell. Okay, so that's why kalau kita tengok based on the function of the meristem tissue, it will form new cell by active mitotic division. Okay, so if you look at the structure of the meristematic tissue here, okay, so actually this one will shows the meristematic tissue that undergo mitotic division here. Okay, so kalau kita go through the structure of the meristematic tissue, first it is small and then it has the thin wall. Okay, and then it have central large nucleus here. Okay, kalau awak boleh tengok dekat sini, so it have a central large nucleus and then it have dense cytoplasm. Okay, next it have small vacuole and then look at the cell shape here. So the cell shape of the meristematic tissue is rectangular. Rectangular means kita boleh nampak bentuk dia macam bentuk segi empat tepat. Okay, and then the arrangement of cell. Okay, the cells are closely packed. Closely packed maksudnya the cell tu kita boleh nampak dia punya kedudukan dia adalah berdekatan lah, ataupun rapat antara satu sama lain. Okay, so since the cell is closely packed, so means that there is no intercellular air space between cells. So since the cell is closely packed together, so means that there is no air space. Alright. Okay, so now we look at the types of meristem. Okay, so actually if you look at the types of the meristem, it has two types. The first one we call as apical meristem. The other one lateral meristem. Okay, so the distribution for apical and also lateral meristem are different. So firstly, we look at the apical meristem first. So where we can find the apical meristem, its distribution is at root tip and also shoot bud. Maksudnya dia akan berada pada bahagian hujung lah. Okay, so let's say if you look at this structure here, okay, so this is the root tip, okay, and then right here is the shoot bud. Okay, and then the function of the apical meristem, it is responsible in primary growth or elongation or growth in length. So apa yang akan berlaku adalah, so since kita kata tadi meristem tissue, okay, it is an actively divide cell and it will generate a new cell. So bila dia berada pada bahagian tip, okay, maksudnya pada bahagian tip plant, pada bahagian hujung, so dia akan menyebabkan berlaku grow in length. So dia akan menyebabkan plant tu akan memanjang. So this is for apical meristem. Okay, so what is the difference with lateral meristem? Okay, so if you look at here, vascular cambium and also the cambium. So the distribution of the lateral meristem, it can be found or located in the outer edge of stem and root. So let's say Okay, so this is the stem. Okay, and then this is the vascular cambium. Alright. So, kalau kita tengok the position of the lateral meristem, dia akan berada pada outer edge of stem and root. So, that's why if you look at the vascular cambium here first, okay, so this is the vascular cambium. Okay, so it will add layers of vascular tissue. Okay, so right here. So this is the vascular cambium, and then it will add the layer of the vascular tissue. Okay, and then for vascular cambium, it has two types. The first one, okay, it has the secondary xylem, and the other one are secondary flower. Okay, and then for cork cambium, okay, so cork cambium is right here. Okay, so cork cambium, it will replace epidermis with thicker and also tougher peridome. Okay, so for the cork cambium, it will replace epidermis with thicker and also tougher peridome. Okay, and then the function of the lateral meristem, it is responsible in secondary growth. Kalau kita compare dengan apical meristem tadi, it is responsible in primary growth, which is it will grow in length. But for lateral meristem, it is responsible in secondary growth. Okay, by which, okay, it will involve in the thickening of root and also shoot. Dia akan menyebabkan root dan juga shoot tu jadi lebih tebal, and then grow in circumference. Okay, so this is the difference between apical meristem and also lateral meristem. Alright.